Darson, welcome to the podcast.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Technically, is this a joint podcast?
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
You can edit anything these days. We could probably put another person in the middle if you want. He's laughing because he's like, he can do it.
So what are you currently working on in your business?
So 2025, it's for context, early February 2025. 6 months ago, I was ready for my next adventure, and selling real estate was fun, but selling more real estate didn't sound like that much more fun. And so I thought it'd be fun to explore what it'd look like to hire agents to join me and help them and help their business. And so that's what I've been exploring for the last 6 months. And so the last month and a half, I've been meeting with people that want to be real estate agents, want to know what it looks like to be an agent. Maybe they're currently an agent that they don't get the support or don't have the numbers they want.
Gotcha.
And want to kind of plug into my system. So
how's that been building a new business? Any challenges this far? I'm sure.
Man, there's challenges every day. Like I struggle with that because I'm super optimistic. Like when I decided I was going to do this, my admin, Peyton, she like behind the scenes runs all my stuff because I'm terrible at details. And she's, it was about Christmas is when I told her, maybe Thanksgiving in between there. I was like, Peyton, I think I have my next vision. She goes, oh yeah? I was like, yeah, we're going to have 25 agents. And she goes, no, we're not. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, that we don't have that. How are you going to do that? And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. Like the how is not the important part here, but like you got to shoot for something. And so then I explained everything, and she's on board. She gets it. So
tell me how you first got into real estate.
Yeah. First got into real estate. I've been fired. So I got fired from a W-2 job in 2016 or 17, which is a company that I thought it was employee benefits insurance. I thought I was going to take it over. I literally thought the owner is 25 years older than me. And I was like, she owned the business outright. And I was like, I told her, I'm going to do this for 25 years and then buy the business from you. Is that okay? She's like, yeah, we can do that. So I was like, okay, worked, sold, managed accounts, started marketing in a way that she didn't agree with, or the company didn't agree with. Someone didn't agree with it. Went to do my annual review, which I should have known it wasn't an annual review in March, but annual review, and they let me go. And I still remember this day. It was so out of the blue because I had a plan. I was like, this is what we're going to do. This is the plan. It's going well, making the company money. Didn't do anything wrong, in my opinion. She fired me, and I was like, okay, next.
Kind of like, were you blindsided by that?
Totally.
Just kind of
I thought I was going for an annual review. There was no, hey, you need to do this differently. You need to do so anyway, my point in that is that's when I'd always owned small businesses and knew that I was an entrepreneur, but I never granted, I got that job in 2008 when the crash hit. And so this was 2017. So I'd been working for the same company, learned the ins and outs of it. And, but yeah, I was like, at that point I said, no one will ever control my paycheck. Yeah. And so that kicked that off, and, had a year non-compete, but I had a couple other small businesses, started up a mosquito spraying business, started up those Zorb inflatable bubble ball business, and did that. And then,
was the mosquito spraying, was that your first entrepreneurial venture?
I mowed 14 or 20 yards as a kid in high school. I knew what my hourly wage was in high school. I was terrible at billing my clients. I knew that at a very early age that I was, even though if I billed them, I got paid, I hated billing. Right. I hated that paperwork. So no, as a kid, I can remember selling sunflower seeds for a penny a piece. And if you do that math, you're making out like a bandit. I didn't know that because I was just like, this is an easy way to think about it. Kids were paying me that, and it was I'd go to Casey's 4 blocks away, go buy a bag of sunflower seeds and make 15.
Right. What's your approach to real estate investing?
Real estate investing. So let's just tie back to the story of how I got into real estate, because I didn't really finish that one.
Yeah, sorry.
This ties into that. Got fired from the W-2 job, one of my clients hired me and said, hey, come do W-2 insurance work in our HR department. That was Workiva up in Ames. And at that same time, my wife and I did the Dave Ramsey get out of debt plan. And so we didn't have any consumer debt, or not very much, probably none at that point. And, but we needed, like, it was either pay off your house or put more in the stock market. And I hated both of those options. So I realized that if you put 25% down on an investment property as a rental, you can't lose more than 25% unless you buy a bad property, because it's a down payment. Like, there's that much equity. You can just go sell it on the open market. Once I realized that it wasn't like doom and gloom to own real estate, because that's what I had heard for 8 years. It's like, I mean, I bought my personal house, but owning real estate, like, was not a sought after thing, at least in my circle. So anyway, did that. So once I understood cash flow of, like, the rent's got to be over X dollar amount above the mortgage and taxes and insurance, blah, blah, blah. Then it was just like, how much down payment can I get to buy more rental properties?
Right.
Instead of investing. Because I still, at that point, I stopped investing in anything stock market.
Yeah. And that was your catalyst into more real estate.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I go into something, like, I don't, like, I'm not half pregnant. Like, it's all the way in. Like,
right.
Here, I'm in it. And I haven't, I've never not been in real estate. Real estate and business. Like, I kind of look at those as, I run them very simultaneously. They can be ran differently.
Yeah.
So investment property.
Mm-hmm.
It totally depends on who the person is and what their financial goal is. Right? Does that make sense? So like cash flow, if you have no money, you're trying to replace a job, you need cash flow, because cash flow is what's going to replace your W-2 job.
Right.
Used to be able to buy 50 properties and they'd all cash flow enough to replace a $100,000 job a year. No longer. Like, there's not that much cash flow. Not in my experience. So now it's you're forcing equity upon properties to make a good investment property, and then it's going to cash flow.
So you're saying your down payment has to be larger now than before?
It could be the same. No, you
profitable.
force equity. So you buy a shittier property. Sorry, I can't cuss. You buy worse property and then you fix it up, and then your rent is more than the mortgage plus whatever investment you have into it. And if you do that, then basically you've forced sweat equity into it.
Right.
And if you do that correctly, you can't buy a bad property, because you have more equity than the cash you put into it.
Gotcha. Okay. So do you think there's a misconception on the internet about real estate investing, and people make it seem easier than it is?
It depends who you listen to. Like, there's a lot of people, a lot of straight shooters in real estate investing. There's also, yes, a lot of, sell this course. Honestly, I didn't realize that it's every industry. Yeah. The sell my course, this is easy. It's in every single industry. So if you want to learn real estate, like, watch 50 videos on it of people that have done it that aren't selling courses, and you'll know. And it means there's a million ways to do real estate. I started as an investing, and then I became an agent, and now I don't invest in real estate.
Why not?
Right? Like, why not? It's because me putting money into a business to turn that volume up makes way more sense than putting $50,000 into a rental property.
Yeah.
Because the rental property cash flows at most $200 a month. So that's even if it was $5,000 a year, that's a terrible investment of $50,000. If you can turn it onto a business and spend, if I gave you $50,000 in marketing, how much could you turn around and make for me?
A lot more than $50,000.
Right. Like in a year.
Right.
And in real estate, you put 50 grand into it and you get $5,000 back a year. So it takes 10 years to beat that. Gotcha. I've talked to a lot of business owners out of buying real estate. If you trust your business and you want to grow. If you don't want to grow and you're super happy with your family life and your business is going well and there's no kinks, you don't need to hire anyone, buy real estate. That's better than the stock market, in my opinion. No,
right. No, and my dad's a financial advisor. He talks to business owners and says that business owners will come to him and they're like, I want to get a financial plan. I want to start investing. And So what's your advice? And he'll say, well, what's the worst deal you do on a product or a service? And 20, 30% is the low
like
end.
profit margin.
Right. And he's like, well, you could do more of that, or you make 10% in the stock market. So same concept.
Yes, it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of people don't understand that. They see stocks and investment as safe, or some people even like the day traders is to the quick fix or get rich quick.
The day trading world, like I don't know that world. I've seen it. I've watched people get consumed. It's so dumb if you're a business owner. Unless you it's just gambling. You might as well bet sports.
Yeah, very time consuming.
And it's just a guess. It might be less easy to do than like truly gambling and betting on sports. Like this team is better than that team. I guess if you're betting the spread, it's a 50-50 shot.
Right.
But yeah, day trading is, I don't know.
Let's see. How do you manage risk when making an investment or helping a customer make a purchase on real estate?
You can't ever eliminate all of the risk. So like at some point when you spend money, there is a risk. You're going to lose that money and not get the value of whatever you're buying. But it is, and some people are overanalyzers and some people are shoot from the hips, right? I'm gonna shoot from the hip. Like I'm gonna risk it. I'm not gonna risk it to where I'm gonna go homeless, but like I will inevitably shoot for more risk. And so I tell I always say, like my clients, you need to know all the facts and you will make the good decision. The worst thing I could do is not give you all the facts. If you want to tell me if you want me to tell you my opinion, like I need to know what's going through your head. I need to know what keeps you up at night, what keeps your spouse up at night, what your total financial picture is. And I can't.
What's your risk tolerance?
Yeah. Mine's high because I could live in nothing. I don't drive nice vehicles. We don't fix up our house. We don't keep it super nice because we have 4 boys at home. Like it's pointless. So like the risk in business, I don't know, like if you failed in business, you'd have a scarlet letter, right? You'd have a loss, but does anyone actually ever care about that anymore? Like there's a little ego, right? I don't want to lose. But like, I don't know. Is it that important? It's up to you. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Have you ever lost in your business?
Definitely.
Like what? You can put me on the spot too, but I'm putting you on the spot.
There was one I was just thinking about. Gosh, I was literally thinking about this on the drive over here and I forgot already. A loss in my business.
Go ahead.
Probably just like, even bad ads. It happens sometimes.
Yeah, but didn't you learn from that?
Definitely learned from that. And it's like, I remember what it was. I was doing a production and I had the 2 guys mic'd up. We were doing a shot of both of them. And after that shot had ended, one of them had gone out of the room for a break and was still mic'd up. And I started filming the other person in this video and I could hear background noise, doors slamming. It's that little kind of thing where it's like, and now this clip that I just had, I might be able to salvage it, but it's worthless at its current value because there's a bunch of background noise that I didn't foresee before shooting it. So things like that, small things like that, or like I was saying, even bad ads. Like sometimes you have a client that's, I don't like that. Can you change it? Can you do this, this, and this? And I'm like, I can do this and that, but it might not perform the way I think it should. I think we should do this. And it's like, so I think a lot of that for me is learning how to better guide a client in what I know works versus what their preconceived notion of what they think works.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's marketing in general or ads. You aren't right either.
Right.
Right. Like it's until you put it out there and let the public determine, hey, did it work or not?
And that, yep.
is who's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How has social media played a role in growing your business?
I hate the word social media. Can you be more specific?
Okay. How has producing content impacted or played a role in growing your business?
Any YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
You want a specific platform.
It's all different.
Okay.
Wouldn't you agree? This is my struggle with today's world. Like, everyone should be on social media. What the hell does that mean? Everyone should be on YouTube. What does that mean? I hate it. And then people put clips out there and like they try to educate, and they're like, and I'm not a detailed person, but in this instance, in order to give any educated answer, I'm not being an ass.
No, you're okay. Reason, you're okay.
But like I struggle with it.
Break it down. So what do you use?
Perfect. I can answer that. And how do I use it?
Yes.
So YouTube, I have a YouTube channel called Living in Des Moines. Don't go to it though, please. I'm serious. Don't go to the YouTube channel. I don't hardly ever talk about it. And it's for people that are outside of the metro that are looking to move to Des Moines. And the algorithms catches them, and they want to see what the neighborhoods are like, what it looks like to move to Des Moines. They'll find that YouTube channel. That I did that 4 years ago, started 4 years ago, and I do maybe half dozen to a dozen real estate transactions from that specific. And if you do the math on that, it's very good ROI. I mean, the videos are not. They're not, some are more professional than others, but they're not anything more you can't do with your cell phone. Just hot dog style, whatever, what's it even called?
Vertical or horizontal?
Yes, horizontal, yeah. Horizontal, and yeah. I could DJ on mic and talk about all the neighborhoods. I could do so much more.
So is that mostly all long form?
All long form.
Gotcha.
Yep, zero shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Shorts are worthless.
Okay.
I've yet to see anyone who has an ROI on shorts. Have you seen it?
What makes you believe that?
I've yet to see anyone have an ROI on shorts.
In what?
Anything?
Well, that wouldn't be a thing, and business owners wouldn't post on it.
Really?
If it wasn't.
No way. You don't believe that?
You don't think shorts or reels are
produce income? I've yet to see it. Maybe it's just in my line of interest, my industry. They can build a following.
I mean, I could say I was targeted this morning by a boot camp, not a boot camp, but it was a education.
Yeah.
It was a fly out to Boise, and they would teach you for 2 days about ads.
Yeah. Did you buy it?
I didn't buy it, but I clicked on it. I went through the form, and
That's because you're a nerd. It's because you're a marketing nerd. Don't get me wrong, it can work, but like in general, like shorts can grow your channel to get them to the long form where the people actually spend their money, because very few people will transact on shorts. You can push them to your long form channel, to get long form, in my experience, and then they build a relationship with you on the long form. That's where you sell them, and not even sell them. You just show them who you are, have a call to action. Short, I just can't. Very few.
What do you think shorts? How do you think shorts plays a role in advertising, marketing for your business, or not your business, but business in general?
It's a loss. It's a magnet, like a downloadable PDF.
You see it as more of a lead magnet kind of tool rather than a converting tool.
This is not like, I'm not going to say it never happens. Clearly it happens sometimes. But in the grand scheme of things about what people should and shouldn't be doing to spend, like, I'm an efficiency nerd, if for lack of better terms.
Okay.
I've done I've done a lot of the short stuff, and like it just doesn't produce like long term. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm bad at shorts. But I know a lot of research that's been done that shorts don't convert when you compared to a long form.
In real estate or in general?
In general.
I would disagree. I think it has its place.
Tell me an industry, or like tell me how you would use a short in order to convert and make a sale. Building brand's different.
Right now we have several companies that we run ads for them. We're running the same creative in a lot of different formats.
Yeah.
So it's a horizontal video, but it'll run as a reel as well. It obviously, I mean, it'll be horizontal, so it's not a full screen, but
these are shorts.
They would be considered. I mean, it's ran as a reel on Meta, so Instagram Reel or Facebook Reel.
Okay.
Do you differentiate shorts versus reels?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're not on the same wavelength. So a YouTube short is what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Does not generate ROI.
Yeah.
But you think a reel is different.
Yeah, you can do different calls to actions, I believe. You can have like their ad platform is way better on Meta.
Yes. Yeah.
So like it can convert.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where I was getting
YouTube
way
shorts.
off track. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
See, this is why it's so nuanced. And people even professionals lump it all together, and
I talk to a lot of business owners. They don't understand the difference between reels, shorts, TikToks, and everything in between. So
this is why it's very important.
When I talk about them, I kind of am referring to all of them as a general, just vertical videos.
I get it.
Okay. So what about
that was fun, by the way.
Challenging me?
Well, it's just not the clarification.
Yeah.
Like it'll be better for the business owners now that you're able to articulate that too.
Yeah.
Because then, and honestly, anyone watching will hear that and be like, okay, it matters that much. Because you can't throw one video up. I don't say you can't. You can. It's just less effective. You throw one video up on all the platforms and just be like.
Yes. They all like a LinkedIn reel versus a Meta reel.
Yeah.
Those are two
I haven't
very
dabbled
different.
with LinkedIn reels, but. If
you listen to any Gary Vee,
I know
he preaches it.
I know. I just haven't. I'm dabbling with that probably Q2 or 3.
Yeah. Nice. Anyway. So for your business, you have a YouTube channel. What else do you use?
Oh, back to that question.
Yes.
I'm going to break this up. Year 20. So I got in the business 2021. I got in the business year 2020. And my mentality was I'm just going to have as many real estate conversations as possible. So I'm very active in a real estate investor Facebook group. And then on Facebook, just friends and family stuff. Like I post on stories and on my Facebook feed, I think it's called now or whatever. But like just comment stuff. Right. And a little bit about real estate, a little bit not. And the Facebook group for investors, I started basically presenting and running the group. I don't own the group, but I run it. And when I did that, I realized everyone in there wants to buy real estate. And I was like, okay, this is an entire pond of people that want to buy real estate. Now all I have to do is find some that will tell me exactly what they want to buy, that would use me as an agent if I found that deal for them. And if you know anything about investors, they are not loyal to an agent. Almost none of them are, because they just want the deal. They just want the best deal for whatever that means. And as a new agent, like that's perfect, because I love finding deals, and I'm spending other people's money, but I'm finding a good deal that they're as pumped as I am.
Right.
And they could care less about my commission because it's the deal. And so then I just watched that group. It made relationships with people in that group and had a boatload of conversations about real estate with them. Sold 50 houses my first 12 months. What was the question again? Just
what other platforms do you use?
That, and then the rest is your database. Meaning people that already know, like, and trust you, staying in front of them, talking to them about real estate, what's going on with trends, national, local, neighborhood.
What would you say the percentage of deals you do? Are they with homeowners looking for a home or investors?
50-50.
50-50.
I'm not a detailed person, but I track the lead stuff, not on the front end, but what closes. Front end, I'm not good at it, but what closes, I know where they came from, if they're in state or out of state, investor, non-investor, and then what lead source they came from.
What do you use to track those?
Excel spreadsheet.
Nice.
I don't know, super nerdy.
Yeah.
Because in real estate, like 50 deals, if you think about 50, that's only one a week, which in the real estate world, like that's a lot of transactions, but in a sales org, that's not very many. So I can track those pretty easily. Mm-hmm. It's not like we don't have to get super complicated.
Mm-hmm. Are there any mistakes you see agents or businesses making with their marketing? I mean, you're very vocal about shorts, but are there any mistakes you see other agents or businesses with making content for their marketing?
Well, I'm not an expert with other people because I've not marketed that much comparative to other people. So I can tell you what I've done, which is I've done the shorts in 2020. I did all of the short stuff when just after everyone else was doing it. I was like, oh, I'm going to do tons of shorts on Instagram. Shorts or
reels?
All of them. Shorts.
Reels.
I did Facebook and whatever meta reels.
Yeah.
They're on both. I did TikTok. It was dumb. For me, it didn't do anything. And it very likely was the content wasn't all that compelling. I got a couple. I mean, I had one that had, I don't know, $200,000 views, just like a stupid rant in my truck. But I mean, I don't know that much, so I can't really speak educated on that stuff. What I typically see is people have not squeezed all of the juice out of what they already have before they go on to the next thing.
Mm-hmm. Trying to do too many things before mastering one.
Master's probably a tough word.
Okay.
Right. But like getting the most out of it, right, or even just a process. So like, hey, my process with this one thing is so good, I can now go on to the next. Usually they cut off like halfway through that one thing.
Right.
And I say that's how I've worked.
Yeah. And
I'll just cut it off. When I know if I just do the things that already work.
Yeah.
In real estate specifically, agents are terrible at it.
Getting sidetracked with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of why we become agents. Like we can't work for anybody.
Yeah.
Really. And so, you're just like, oh, what's the next bright and shiny thing? Right. Agents are terrible. And I was bad until 2022 and I had a senior agent come basically like, hey, this is what you need to do. Look at these other good agents. That's all they do. And you're not doing any of that. You're doing all the bright and shiny stuff.
Right. I see that a lot with clients that we work with they want to do it all. They want to do Google ads, Facebook ads, Groupon. They want to do every single little thing there instead of focusing on one and making that one work instead of dispersing all of your marketing income or marketing budget. Yeah.
How do you pick that one? How do you advise someone? Advise me on picking that one.
What I like to tell prospects and clients is we start with meta ads and meta content because we want to build social credibility for your business. We want your prospects and viewers to see you're a real person, and that we want to build that connection and build that value for the viewer and for your business in a way that is going to bring you that credibility. So that's where we start. After we can master making content for you. So whether we're making content for you, flying out there making content for you, or you're sending us content, that's where we start. And when we have squeezed all the juice out of Facebook ads, which you could say is never, then we can move on to Google ads if that's really what you want to do. I mean, and Google ads has its place. Are you familiar, or do you work a lot with Google ads at all?
I mean,
not in your industry.
Oh, the industry does.
But you don't.
No, I would say no.
Yeah. Yeah. Our rule of thumb or our example would be that the industries that are urgent matters. So an emergency service contractor. Oh crap, my basement's flooded. I need a contractor. That's where they go to Google.
Yeah.
Versus an automotive shop. It's like, something's been squealing for a couple months, but I don't need it right now. But then they see your ad on Facebook and it's like, maybe I should go to get it checked out. That's kind of the analogy I like to use. Do you not agree with that?
No.
Why don't you agree with that?
Because they're going to Google the same thing.
Yes, it has its place. They complement each other.
You're the mark. I don't know. Like, I would love to see the results on it. Right? Like, what someone searches for. A lot of people search for realtors. A lot of people just see them in their feed. 85% of the people would use the realtor. What's the rule? 85% of the people would use the realtor that sold them the house if they remembered them. 15% do. That's bonkers. And you're just like, drop all the people that you've done business with. Let me go focus on these new, bright and shiny people. That's the realtor world.
Can I give you an example as where an Insta Reel actually targeted my fiance for real estate?
Oh, I get it. I'm currently running them for first-time home buyers in a home buyer seminar. So like they work. We have 15 people signed up. We'll see how many people show up. I get it. They can sell. The brand thing is what I struggle with. Like, how can you prove that that's why, like, the social credibility? I struggle with that.
Struggle with social credibility?
Yes.
Okay, if you had two businesses side by side, one's running Google ads, one's running Facebook ads and making Facebook content.
I take Google all day long. Sorry.
You'd take that business over?
Yeah, because that's immediate sales.
Okay, as a user of the business. So you are looking for, there's two scenarios. You're looking for a service. You Google it, you find the one that's top ranked or has the Google ad that one of the first that pop up.
Yep.
You've got that scenario, or you're still need the service, but you don't need it that bad, or maybe
consumer's gonna go to Google every time. They're not buying off Facebook.
I think they complement each other. So let's say the
means
person
you have to
that
run
has
both.
Okay, sorry. Different
It's
scenario.
okay.
Different scenario. So two companies, one runs Google ads only, one runs Google ads and Facebook ads and Facebook content.
Yeah.
You see them both in the search. You click one, they have zero content. They look like a shell company. You click on number two and they actually have stuff posted. That's social credibility.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but that takes 5 posts because no one's scrolling past 5 posts anyway.
You want current content. You can't have a post from 5 years ago because they're like, are they still in business?
They're going to go to Google and see your reviews.
Okay.
Maybe not. Prove me wrong. I could be wrong. I'm old, right? Like I'm a 36-year-old. So like maybe the 25-year-old's like, no, I'll go to TikTok and I'll look. Maybe. I don't know. Tons of people sell a lot of business on Meta. I don't think every business is perfect for Meta, right? Like I've yet to be proven that or not. I would love for my business.
That's the emergency situation where it's like an emergency service contractor shouldn't be running Facebook ads, right? Because it's like you're marketing to people that don't have an emergency right now.
Yeah. Well, that's just like that's just AdWords. That's an AdWords game. Like you just figure out what the Google AdWords are that trigger. But like as realtors, you can figure out what your AdWord spend is and figure out what your lifetime value of a client is and figure your CAC and like go spend money. Right? Like the rule of marketing is, like, I'll spend as much on marketing as I need to make sure I still make money and ROI, if you know the lifetime value of your client.
You and Grantham Group, do you see you guys investing in Google ads or Facebook ads down the road?
Currently, I just do Facebook ads. Actually, I just started that in the last couple weeks. We ran a first-time home buyer seminar. We're just testing, messing around with it a little bit. But it's, I mean, I wouldn't stand behind it at all because I have no idea what to compare it to. But it's I think that's a perfect example of, I don't think people are going to go to Google and say, what's a first-time home buyer seminar near me? But if they see one that's happening in a city near them, like on Facebook, that makes more sense. Like selling that like workshop style content. But like the Facebook page that it has, if you look at it, it's terrible. Like it's generic.
Do you think if it was better, you'd get more
I have
leads?
No idea, and you can't prove that. Can you? Can you prove that?
Tell me why you chose Facebook ads over Google ads for...
I just did. I think the consumer is going to sign up for a workshop. They're going to see that on a Facebook ad. So it's a loss leader. So it's straight education. There's no sales pitch at it. It's straight, hey, this is how you buy your first house. This is how you finance it. This is how you get insurance. This is how you pick the house.
Is this a free seminar or paid?
Free. We have lunch and appetizers at it, or appetizers and drinks at it. Gotcha. Local West Des Moines. And we're like very much testing it out. I have no idea how it'll perform. Mm-hmm. I want to say there's 15 people signed up, maybe 20, but I mean, no idea. We're also running it to my 1,500 like people in my database.
So are you hoping that one of those people at that seminar buy a house with you guys?
So I've been told by other people who have done these is 25% will end up using the realtor that's there to help them buy a house. And so like if that happened, that's worth way more than what we spent on it. But it's not formulated, it's not systematized out to me to be like, this is exactly how to do it. And until that happens, like, I don't trust anything.
It's hard for me to hear you say that this stuff doesn't work, but then you're doing it.
I'm testing it. I'm very much like, I don't know that it works, but I'm testing it. I'm trying. Right. I'm dabbling with it.
Yeah.
The YouTube stuff, I didn't know it worked for the first 2 years because I didn't, on my YouTube channel, I didn't have very limited success. Now, like the last 2 years, I've had 15 transact, and I keep getting calls in and I have it proves it works. But I want it to be modeled and proven. If you told me, hey, I've got a realtor in Cedar Rapids, even Des Moines, that does this, I will guarantee you this number of leads. If you give me this much money, I'll pay you all day long for it.
So where do you have your leads flowing? So you're advertising for your seminar. Mm-hmm. Is there a landing page they're going to? Is it just...
Ooh, that's a good question. It's Facebook, and then it goes to... They have to answer 3 questions.
So you've got an instant form.
Yes, instant form. That's the word. And then we have one of the agents, immediately when they come in, he shoots them a text, and I think he calls them. It's kind of his baby, and I just said, okay, I'll test the waters.
Sure. How much are you spending?
$200 for 2 weeks. I don't think people will sign up further than 2 weeks out on a workshop like this. So I'm not going to run it for 4 weeks.
Sure.
When someone's not going to sign up for something 4 weeks away. I've done enough events.
How many leads have you gotten, or how many signups do you have?
I think it's 15 or 20. I'd have to go back and look.
What's the capacity? What's the capacity for the event?
I'll take 100 if I can get them.
Where is it at again?
Nick's Bar and Grill, north of Valley West.
Okay.
So
so what's a comfortable number of people to be at Nick's Bar and Grill for your seminar?
Oh, if we got 10, it would be a success.
So like, could you add an element of scarcity of, we only have 20 spots available, sign up, and then they go through your form, they give you their email number and contact.
We get all that. Could, like, in future, we will do something like that.
Right.
This is totally, like, literally we just put this together 2 weeks
awesome.
ago. Because the agent came on and he's like, hey, I want to do first time home buyer workshop. And I was like, never done it. I can send it out to my database, but Facebook seems like a pretty legit way to try that out.
Mm-hmm. I hope you have some success with it.
Yeah. I mean, we've committed to 6 months. So like, I'll do it for 6 months. Yeah. And if it doesn't work out.
Every 2 weeks?
No, every month for
every
6
month.
weeks, 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, what's fun about that is if it works, you can scale that to different investor workshops, home seller workshops, just different types of those. And then, I don't know. I love testing stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's cool. That's good that you're testing. I mean, you can't know unless you try.
No, like in any of it, marketing is the heart. Like, what is that saying they say is like, out of 100%, like $100 of marketing, 80%, you have no idea where it went, and 20% is what matters. You just don't know which 80 and which 20. Have you ever heard that one? Where they're like, you spend $100 on marketing, 80 of it is worthless, 20 of it is the most important, but you don't know which one is which, and you don't know where it went.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just prove it right or prove it wrong. I really don't care. Once I know it's wrong, we'll stop using it or twist it or change it up.
What do you think is a appropriate time before you decide that it's not working?
I think at least, it depends, I guess. 6 months would be like, I think that makes a lot of sense. 6 times to try something. If it depends a lot though on your what your profit margin would be on the product. Like as real estate agents, your profit margin probably like 30 to 40% of the commission. And so you can mess up you can mess up half of the 6 times as long as you get a couple deals. That's good. If you're selling a widget that you're only making $2 on, you better not be spending very much on that or have way more volume. So I don't know that answer.
Yeah. Where do you see your business in the next 5 years? How do you plan to get there?
I hate these. I don't know if we've talked about this.
I can switch.
I know it's fine. And the reason I hate it is like, I just want to work. Like, sorry. I just want to work.
We were talking about this the other day. I asked you, how do you set your goals? You're like, I don't set goals.
This is the first year I've ever set my goals. And really it's because I have other people now involved in my business and they need to know what I'm shooting for.
See your vision.
Yes. Otherwise I'll just let me work and shoot generally in this direction for more. And I will work as hard as I can. And because I don't really have hobbies. I don't have a big family. We do, like, I don't spend very much nights and weekends on business. Not very much. But for 40 to 50 hours a week, like I'm working. And I'm not pissing around. So
why in the past have you not set goals? Tell me about that philosophy.
Yeah. My gut says like, I don't have anyone to hold me accountable. And so I'm like, I'll just work hard and whatever happens. And if I'm watching it every day and I'm noticing how many leads are coming in, cause like when I say I don't set goals, I can, in real estate, you can see your pipeline or in sales in general, like generally, the time that it takes for a sale to happen and what the income is going to be for that sale. And so if I don't have any deals, like right now I've got 14 deals to close in February, which is bonkers, but I only have 1 in March. So I'm like, okay, March feels slow at where we're at right now because it takes 30 to 60 days to get a property under contract. So like I need to make sure that, hey, what do we have going on? Well, I know that my pipeline is I've got 6 listings coming up mid-February. Mid-February, if they sell, they'll close around March or April. And so like if I can get 5 to 7 every month, like that hits my number of like pretty normal. If I'm above that, great, awesome. If I'm below that, okay, I need to change something of what I'm doing in business, which is usually I just need to have more conversations with people that want to buy or sell. Mm-hmm. So it's not that I don't set goals. I hate the big picture goals because like I don't know what I'm going to be at in 5 years. Right now I'm trying to hire 25 agents. I don't know that I'm going to like to have 25 agents. So, but like,
do you think you'd be more efficient with less than 25? Why do you need 25?
25 agents doing 25 deals would be 525 transactions, which would be the biggest team in Des Moines. It's the only thing that I've found that sounds fun. And it's like, I don't know what the money would be. Truly, it would be a lot, but I have no idea what it'd actually be. But like, for all the agents that have done business for so long, nobody has that big of a team seems weird. Like there's either I'm missing something, or something is, so that challenge of like, let me do something that no one else has done is way more fun than any like dollar amount. Like, I make enough to feed our family and have a good life. More good, but the money isn't.
Right. What is the benefit of being a part of a team versus being on your own?
I've done this one before. I fought myself on this I've been anti-team real estate for 4.5 years until 6 months ago when I started studying it. From my experience, teams seem not to provide the value to agents that they want out of a team. And so agents leave teams. So if you are a self-starter, don't take authority well, don't take accountability well, but you want to drive the boat, drive everything, like a solo agent is perfect. If you like support, if you don't want to do the things that you're bad at or not as efficient at, and you understand jumping on to a team that can do those things, like you're going to make less commission, but you're not going to have to do stuff that you're bad at, like, or stuff you don't want to do or work nights and weekends. So I transitioned to like pro team after I looked at my commissions as an agent for the last 3-4 years, and my gross commission income revenue commission that came in is like $400,000. Paid taxes on $180,000 to $210,000, which is about 50% of what the gross is, right? And you could join a team, any team in Des Moines for a 50% commission split, and they would do they should do majority of the transaction. All you have to do is find the lead, find the house, or get the house listed for sale, and you as a sales agent are on to the next. If I would have done that, I would have been a part-time agent working 15 hours a week and still paid taxes on the exact same amount. That's bonkers. So that's what made me realize that a person that could handle someone else taking all of the marketing, not all of the marketing, but a lot of it, the administrative load, to be on a team that didn't want to build the business, it makes so much sense to be on a team. I couldn't do that. I'd have got fired.
How do you think your career would have changed if you would have known that?
If I would have known the team thing, I couldn't have joined a team. There's not a person that would have talked me into it, because I've been I was fired twice. So I got fired from my previous job before real estate too. So that was twice. And I was like, I'm not trusting anybody else to make me money or help me make money. It's going to be on me or none. So it was probably my own self-sabotage, burn the boat type thing, and
right.
had to provide for the family. And yeah, my wife knew it, and she was comfortable with it. Somehow she trusted me. You're going to learn that soon.
What's one lesson that's stuck with you throughout your career?
One lesson? Oh man, one lesson. If you show up, you beat 90% of the people. Like, I met with an agent this morning, and he wasn't at our brokerage. He goes, what could I do to, he hadn't sold anything in 6 months, new agent. He's like, what could I do to like be better at sales? I was like, do you ever go to the office? No, it's not really much going on there. I was like, go to the office. He goes, yeah, but there's not much going on. I was like, somebody is there. Someone's paying rent there. There's somebody there that is probably making a lot of money. And go sit your office right outside their office and just call that work until you figure out what to do. And that's just showing up. I've done it my whole life. Like basketball in high school. Like I was not good. If I showed up, I hustled. I was not good. We won state. So showing up, I've done it in real estate. I did it in real estate investing. Dozens of meetings, dozens of lunches and coffees, just showing up.
So if listeners could take action on one thing that we've talked about today in this conversation, what do you think it should be?
What do you want? Oh, man. What? Listeners to take action on one thing. Who's your listener? I should have asked.
My listeners are your listeners.
No, stop being that way. What do you mean? Like, who is it? Who would be the perfect person to listen to this podcast? A business owner?
Probably a business owner, or for in this instance, somebody in real estate.
They should be business owners. I know, it's funny because they're mostly are not. My favorite would be then the squeeze the juice out of whatever you're doing. Like whatever you're doing well or almost well, like make sure that there's every pinch of that is getting taken care of, or hire people that are, and just twist it as far as like, it's why I like the Facebook ad testing, is because once you figure it out, then it's just like turn up the hose.
Right.
But like until it's figured out, like don't go on to something new. Like that's probably the first new thing I've done for 3 years.
What compelled you to want to do that?
I've wanted to do it for 3 years, but a new agent on my team came on and he wanted to do first-time home buyers, and I almost do no first-time home buyers unless they're house hacking, buying a duplex, living in one side. I don't know. I might not be that patient for first-time home buyers or something, but he really wanted to. And so I was like, well, how are you going to get first-time home buyers? And he had he's just no idea. And I was like, well, I think that this model could work. I don't know very much about it. But I know people used to do it before COVID. They do first-time homebuyer workshops, and it did pretty well. So I reached out to some people that I knew. That's where I got the 25%. So I was like, if that's actually true, it'll be very lucrative.
What's the ad you're running? Is it a graphic or a video?
2 videos and 2 graphics. Just right here.
You talking?
Yep.
Inviting people to the workshop?
Yeah, calling them out. Well, yeah. more. So the way I've always learned marketing, tell me if I'm wrong, is when you're reading a newspaper, used to make those, your ad should just feel like another ad in the column, another paragraph in the column, another editorial. And so I look at it as Facebook is like, as I'm going through Facebook, I want my video to be like, oh, that's just another video. It's not actually a sponsored video. So that was my goal.
Yeah. Genuine and authentic. That's a good strategy when it comes to ads.
I think so. I want to play it out, right? Like, so Eric is the one, Eric has an ad and I've got a video ad, and I was like, okay, whoever gets more signups on their video wins. And then the next month, the next person has to try to dethrone them with a new video, but the other person doesn't have to do a new video if they don't want to.
You guys need to make a little trophy.
Yeah, right. I don't know. That's right or wrong. That's what we're testing out.
Yeah. I pulled a couple quotes from your Facebook.
Oh boy.
Do you remember them?
Were they? Yeah. No. I mean, maybe.
One who lives in a glass house ought not throw rocks.
This is one of my favorites.
Why?
I tell my kids this all the time. Well,
break it down for me.
Probably a Bible verse. No, I shouldn't say probably. I don't know the Bible verse, but it's the one who has a stick in their eye shouldn't. What is it?
A speck in one's eye should not judge someone else.
Yeah, that has like a. Anyway,
do not criticize the speck in one's eye without examining the 2x4.
Yeah, yes, that's it.
Something like along those lines.
That's it. I mean, I try hard not to I probably did on this podcast, but I try hard not to be like, you shouldn't do that. But more or less like, I wasn't successful in that. I haven't seen that it works. You can prove me wrong. I tell the people, like, I would love for you to tell me and prove me wrong that Facebook ads or whatever kind of marketing works. Because I will spend an enormous amount of money on something that works. But until it's proven that it works, I'm not wasting my money on it. Or it's just going to be a very dabbling piece of it. Is that fair?
That's completely fair. It's your money.
Well, but does that relate to the glass house thing? What other ads or what else did I write? That was old too, by the way. 2012.
This one's pretty funny. I don't know if I understand it, but a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
Yeah.
Tell me about that one.
Well, just think about, like, if you're a blind squirrel, how do you find a nut?
Smell, your other senses.
You're just out there looking, but it doesn't like just sit up in the tree and cry about it. The nut's not coming up there. And go find it.
Right. Do you think after, relate that to business?
Try. Well, just don't sit back and wait for someone to come to you.
Would you say a new entrepreneur is a blind squirrel when they find their first nut?
I think you're thinking way too hard into this.
Or when they find a few nuts, do you think their blindness is lifted and now they see a bigger picture of?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought. Well, if you find one, another one's probably dang close. So don't go. Once you find one, don't go on a sprint for a mile and be like, oh, where are they at over here? Probably not there. Just look closer to you. I don't know. I've never thought about that in a business aspect. There's more?
No, there's no more. There's only those two. Do you have any more recent quotes you like? Or a Bible verse that you've resonated with lately?
Well, the Bible verse is going to be fruitful and multiply in all aspects. We have 4 kids with a 5th on the way. So I like that verse for that. But in general, if you're a business owner, God tells you to create. He says that we are creators. Be like me. I'm a creator. Be in my image. And I never looked at myself as a creator before I became before real estate, because I was like, I'm not creative. I hate drawing. I hate artsy stuff. Not my cup of tea. I'm not fancy like that. An art gallery is the most boring thing I could ever see. I could care less. But when someone was like, you do know as a business owner, you're very creative. I was like, I never thought of it that way. So, yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I mean, as a business owner, you're creating a machine. You're creating an organism, something that can operate without you. It's an engine. It's always running.
Well, there's just, you're fixing things, you're creating. Yeah.
How much more time do we have?
We're about out.
Wrap it up?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a website?
DarsonGrantham.com.
I knew you had a website, but I didn't know if
You want a better one than that?
If it was something that you put a lot of time into, or if it's just you have it because you were supposed to have it.
I think websites are mostly a waste. As you can imagine, it's hard to pull an ROI from a website. There are ways and companies that can do it. But I struggled with that for a long time. I had a crappy website. And I still it's a decent website, but I expect 0 leads from it. We're building out communities and more or less so that we can do YouTube videos for those communities. And I think at some point that will start pulling some web traffic, especially on YouTube. Just like connecting the YouTube video with the web page. But yeah.
Where should we direct listeners?
I don't have a good answer for that. Well, if you want to buy a house, just text me. If you want to sell a house, text me. If you want to know about real estate investing, text me. If you want to know about real estate investing, there's a Facebook group called DSM Real Estate Investing Meetup. I don't own it, but I run it, and it's by far the best community of people that invest in real estate in Des Moines. It's way cool.
For somebody that wants to invest or find a home with you, how should listeners connect with you?
Find me on any of the socials and message me. I'll message you back.
And what's your
Darson
social?
Grantham? Because it's Darson, it's a really just go find me. Google
Darson.
me. Google on all. Yeah, there's not very many of us.
All right. Well, listeners, check out the show notes below for Darson's website and socials. And if you got value from this episode, leave a review and keep hustling.
Cool. Thanks.
Any other thoughts?
See you at the next transaction.